Hello and welcome, and a small disclaimer before we start. There is a spoiler alert. If you haven't watched previous episodes, especially the last episode in the series, episode 14, then I suggest you go and watch that first. Otherwise, you know exactly what's going to happen next. Hello and welcome to episode 15 of From the Bottom Up to the Top. My name is Mark, and on today's episode we have the end of season review and the transfer special. Assuming you took notice of our disclaimer, then I will continue. And as you'll see from the screen, we have won the National League North. We had the celebration in the last game, just to round things off nicely. Unfortunately, we can't show that again in the highlights. One of the things that you can't do. So how did we do? When you were last with us, we played virtually the last two games of the season. We played Southport, beat them 2-1 away from home, and we beat Gateshead 1-0, and Elliot Wilson a goal after 35 minutes, managing to hang on there. And that meant that albeit some mathematical conspiracy against Bradford Park Avenue, we were champions. And then we went on to play our last game against Tamworth, and we didn't win it. We lost 2-0. I'm not quite sure whether the guys thought, well, we've done what we need to do and that's it, or what happened. But needless to say, we didn't do well against Tamworth. A 2-0 loss. And if we actually have a look at Tamworth, actually, I didn't click on the right bit. Apologies for that. Let's try again. Tamworth, past meetings. As you'll see, our record against them, played them twice last season. And on both occasions, we lost, albeit 2-1 at home and 2-0 away. So Tamworth, a little bit of a bogey team for us, I guess. But anyway, needless to say, that all done. We did actually win the league, and we won it on goal difference. Let's have a look at the table. Here we go. The table as it finished was Bradford Park Avenue top on 78 points, a goal difference of plus 35. That was 11 in front of Darlington, who finished second on 78 points, and then came Tamworth on 77, Southport on 77, Stockport on 75, Alfreton Town on 72, and Spennymoor on 66, and just managing to squeeze out Kings Lynn on goal difference. So the playoff places go to Darlington, Tamworth, Southport, Stockport County, Alfreton Town and Spennymoor. And how this works, for those of you who don't know, Southport I think will play Spennymoor, and Stockport County will play Alfreton Town. And the winners of those two matches then go on to play Darlington and Tamworth, which will then decide who is in the final, and that will then obviously determine who the other team is that are going up with us. Relegated from the National League North this season, Ashton Town, Leamington and Blythe Spartans, all at the bottom there. Gloucester City just managing to avoid that relegation. I think they did that on the last day, if my memory serves me right. Let's go back and have a quick look. Yes, they did. They won 2-1 against Alfreton Town, which was a good win for them. Bearing in mind Alfreton Town were in the playoff spots. Leamington lost 4-0 against Kettering Town. I think it was already a foregone conclusion, or maybe it wasn't at that point. And it's possible then that by Gloucester City winning, that actually rounded it off. But had Leamington won, obviously they would have still been relegated, but they would have put more in their own hands as opposed to anything else. Blythe Spartans not having a good end to the season. They lost 3-0. And Ashton United, they lost 3-2 to York. So the bottom three teams all losing. So that takes us through to our roundup and awards. A lot happening. There we are, some more confirmation lifting the National League North on the final day. Initial budgets have been set. 7.75 in the wage budget and 10.04 in the transfer budget. I think we can work with that. And I think that puts our finances back on an even keel. It does indeed. So we end up the season with that. We'll come to Club Vision in just a moment. And Crown Champions. We've got a number of retirees. So Nicky Clee has announced he's going to retire, as is Ollie Johnson. And players inducted into the Bradford Park Avenue overall best 11 squad. Spice in goal. No longer with us. Where is he? He's still a free agent by the looks of it. 27 years old. Free agent. Not anywhere currently. And then back we have Mapufu, Nico Gordon, Billy Priestley, Joshua Webb, Estrada at the base of midfield, and then Ben Jackson, Matty Wolf and Kanga, the three loanees that we brought in the midfield, Elliot Wilson and George Danaher up front. Lewis Gray, Tom Howard, Nicky Clee, Alex Hurst, James Morris, Mitchell Lund and Ronaldo Pearson joining the substitutes. Elliot Wilson was the pick of 10 players, accumulated 18 appearances, scoring 12 goals for the team with an average rating of 7.36. We'll have to see if we bring him back for the new season. End of season rewards then. George Danaher wins the fans player of the season with 53% of the vote. Billy Priestley in second on 19% and Andy Kanga third on 16%. George Danaher had the goal of the season against Darlington on the 26th of December to celebrate 1 year of us being in charge here at Bradford Park Avenue, and this was the goal. I can't remember if we've actually seen it on camera. If not, then this is the goal. Picks it up in midfield and then just quiet from outside, just outside the box, gives it a good old tonk into the bottom corner, and that's the goal of the season for George Danaher. I'm sure there were some more good ones as well. Ronaldo Pearson was the signing of the season on a free, and George Danaher got Young Player of the Season on 20. I don't think he's going to be able to do that again, assuming he stays with us, of course. Well, lots of contracts that we have to sort out and sign up. So round up of the season then, the best match of the season was the 5-1 win against Gloucester City on the 5th of September. In fact, I think that was the first game that we actually won. Up until then, we'd had a bit of a wishy-washy start, and then all of a sudden that was the turning point against Gloucester City. Moment to forget was the game against Chorley in October. That was a 3-1 loss at Chorley, but apart from that, we lost in the second round of the FA Emirates Cup to Forest Green. The board were happy because I think we exceeded expectations on the basis that they only expected us to get to the fourth qualifying round. And then the Builder-Base FA Trophy, we lost in the fifth round to Welling United. Again, beating the expectations of the board. And we won the National League North. Just go back to that. You can see our trajectory through the season as we sort of like meandered our way up gradually through halfway of the season into the top half, around the top there, bobbed about a little bit, and then just rounded off just in time for the end of the season. So well done to all. Club Vision and Expectations meeting. So the board want us to play defensively solid football, so we don't go back down, I guess. Make the most of set pieces. Play high tempo pressing football. That's favoured, that's preferred, and then work within the wage budget. I always do that. Always. I don't know how you can cite me with not working with that. A minimum 2-year contract for all first team players. That's new and favoured. So we're not stuck to that rigidly, but yeah. And I think it's probably good. It just gives us a bit of surety within the team. The only problem with that is if we do bring players in that aren't really up to calibre, for whatever reason, then we've obviously got them on the books for 2 years instead of just the season and then offload. And then next season, fight bravely against relegation. Contract expires, so they're expecting us to fight, and then continue remaining in the National League is where they want us to be. I don't. I want to be in League 2, so we will work towards that. Squad dynamics update. Nicky Clee, Nawalski and Priestley are the team leaders. Joshua Webb and Ollie Johnson. Ollie Johnson retiring, of course, as is Nicky Clee. High influential players, and other influential players are George Danaher and Lewis Gray. Hopefully they will step up. We had the end of season team meeting. We're not going to do that on camera, and we will come back to that as well as finalising the club vision and expectations. And for the moment, I don't think we've brought anybody in. Let's just check transfer screen. We know that Pascal Juan Estrada is actually leaving. He's going to Kapfenberger. Caught me on the hop. No more signings come in. So we have actually released on freebies. I think we did that before though, haven't we? Yes. So nobody there either. So that's where we are for the moment. We will continue with the review of the season very, very shortly. But also we will come back for the transfer centre information and transfers in and out of the club. And here we are on the 1st of May, and we'll be doing a hop 1st of May, 1st of June, 1st of July, 1st of August to take us through the rest of the transfer window. But before that, just a little bit more of a review of the season. The board have announced plans to increase the standing area within the ground to hold a further 500 supporters, a cost of £50,000, of which funding coming £24,000 grant from the authorities. It will take a month and be completed by the 14th of June. And they are already underway with that building work. So a little bit of increase in the capacity within the ground. We will also, just also so you're aware, CJ Egan Riley. So there were a couple of, maybe showed you on camera, I don't think we did. CJ Egan Riley, a promising fullback, was released by Manchester City from their youth academy, and we have had him on trial. Looks very good, and what we propose to do potentially is to try and bring him in. I'm not quite sure how easy that's going to be and whether he will accept our terms, but we're going to try and do that. And also we have a goalkeeper, if I can find him. I think he's still in here, maybe not, because they're all gone on holiday. Unavailable. Let's take the unavailability off for a minute and see if we can find him. Here we are. Kieran Slicker. He is also with Manchester City, and we've had him in on loan, or as a not loan, on trial, should I say, and he obviously looks extremely good. And we're looking potentially to bring him in as well. So an update on that when we get to the 1st of June to see whether we've actually managed to do any business with those. So it's definitely worth looking out for them guys. That was the offer for the trial. Danaher breaks the goal scoring record. So 33 goals from Bradford PA this season, new team record. And a previous top goal scorer in the season was Alex Hurst, who scored 12 goals in 2019. George Danaher having an absolutely wonder of a season. As you can see, total 45 appearances, 6 off the bench, 33 goals, 12 penalties, 10, I think that's 10 from 12, I'm sure that's how it works, 4 assists, 12 player of the matches, 2 yellow cards, and as you can see, 7.37 was his total average rating. So fantastic season for him, 7.17 in the league for him. So he's out of contract at the end of June, and without any shadow of doubt, I don't think there's any question whatsoever that we need to try and retain George Danaher. Now we're on 2-year contracts as well. Maybe we can secure him until 2023 in the game. Kanga creates a new record, 19 assists. We'll also possibly be looking at bringing Andy Kanga back in, like an assist machine as he was. 19 assists, previous record held by Nicky Clee with 12 in 2019. Already mentioned, Danaher sets the record for player of the match, and Gray sets a new clean sheets record. He's got 13 clean sheets, previously held by Fabian Spice with 6. Any more information here? A little bit of advice. Nico Gordon should be moved to a regular starter as opposed to a star player. A number of trials and what have you coming in. So for the minute, I think that's it. We will move on to the 1st of June next. And so having rushed ahead in our time capsule, here we are on the 1st of June. What's been going on? Transfers especially. Yep, there's been some activity. So as you can see, Kieran Slicker, as mentioned previously, Manchester City goalkeeper, we have offered him a contract, and CJ Egan Riley, we've also offered him a contract. In fact, we've got confirmation through on that one, so he's coming in, waiting on Kieran Slicker. We have also made an offer for trial for Barney Sodi and Luke Charman, who was on trial with us. I think we have actually secured him. He joins us on the 1st of June. Let's just check the transfer history in case we've missed anything. Nothing on there, so that's where we're at. Anything on this screen? Yeah, a lot of player contracts are expiring. Mapufu, who we've offered him a new contract. Chakwana, we've not really made any decision on him at the moment. Sangre, we've released. Joshua Webb, we've offered a new contract, as we have Lewis Gray and Mitchell Lund. Ronaldo Pearson, who was the signing of the season, we've not made any decision on him at the moment. Michael Collins has been released on, just set for release. James Morris, no decision made. Ebanks, Gladdery, Howard and Sorinola, nothing decided on those as yet. Still bringing in lots of trialists, having a look, trying them out, and just really generally trying to see what's available to us and what we can bring in as time goes by. So I don't think there is a lot else to add to this part at the moment, which means we'll move on, and we'll move on to July the 1st. And you come back to us on the 1st of July, having jumped into our time machine once more. And you will see that Chakwana has signed a new contract, a 1-year contract in this instance, on £240 per week. We also have the fixtures for the coming season. You'll see our friendlies here. But we opened the season against Eastleigh at home on the 7th of August. We have a Christmas games against Yeovil Town on Boxing Day and Halifax Town on New Year's Eve. And what I'm looking at completely at the wrong thing there. Harrogate Town on Boxing Day, and then Maidenhead United on New Year's Day. And then we finish up the season against Solihull Moors away from home on the 23rd of April. So that's what the fixtures look like. We'll go back to this screen and have a quick look up and see if there's anything. Ben Jackson has left. He's gone back to Bolton. Ebank's contract expires. Pearson contract expires. Matty Wolf, after making 40 appearances, he returns to Barnsley. Howard's contract expires. Sorinola, Elliot Wilson, he returns to Doncaster Rovers, having made 18 appearances. Let's have a quick look. And of course, we've ticked over now, so we'll have to go into the history. Here we go. So while he was with us, he made 18 appearances, 12 goals, 1 player of the match, and a 7.36 in the ratings. So very good. McGladry's contract has expired. Kanga's loan has finished. Andy Kanga. Again, we need to do this. Come back to Blackpool under contract for another year. But whilst he was with us, he managed to play 42 games, 1 off the bench, scored 5 goals, got 6 player of the matches, but 19 assists. I think that is quite the thing, and a 7.22 average rating. A good innings from him. Adam Payne, he's completed his loan, only 5 appearances from Adam. But even so, 6.82, 5 appearances, as we said, 1 assist from that. So we released 19 players. Michael Collins, Sangri and George Wilson have left. And then also Alex Harvey, Brandon Heath, Lionel Alunga, Thomas Amoa, Jackson Perver, Bakary Kantaya, Jack Webb, Ibrahim Boutang, Adam Mattison, Simon Ford, Alex Cubban, Darren Myrna, Ardit Heisenger, Jamal Kelly, Danny Garner and Innes Hendry all failed to secure professional contracts through the youth system, and have moved on. These are players that have contracts set to expire. Chakwana, but as you see, we have offered him. Billy Priestley, no decision made yet. And Nico Gordon. In fact, they're all expiring next year. So we have got all those in. So I'm looking at completely at the wrong thing here. Just moving up. And nothing else there. Let's just check the transfers to see what's come in. Yep, so here's confirmation. Kieran Slicker has come in from Manchester City. He is the goalkeeper and he is on contract with us until 2024, £825 per week. Just look at the report and he has a current ability of 4.5 stars. and he has potential ability of 4.5 stars as well, which makes him just that bit better than Lewis Gray, who will be the backup goalkeeper as long as he doesn't get all upset this year. CJ Egan Riley, who is a right-sided defender but can also play central, and he's also a right-sided wing-back. He's coming also from Manchester City. This is what I was looking for. And as you'll see, he is that much better than Joshua Webb, who is in that position. But so Joshua Webb will now become more of a backup for Egan Riley on that right side. Let's go back forwards a little bit. Right, sorry. Yes, he's got 5-star ability. 5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. Albeit they do rate him as a 4.5 star at the moment. So again, potential to be a good player, and will go up through the leagues with us, hopefully. There's been 2 offers for Will Forrester, offers from Stratford Town and Nuneaton. That's where we're currently at with that. And Luke Charman, I think we mentioned on the last bit that he has come in on a free transfer. He was a pre-signing. And Pascual Juan Estrada, he's actually gone out to Kaffensberger. So he's gone back to Austria basically. I think he possibly was a little bit homesick or whatever. So that's I think pretty much where we are up until the 1st of July as it currently stands. I think there's still quite a bit to do before we get anywhere near the season, and we are now going to leap to the 1st of August, biggest leap of all, and I think where the biggest amount of transfer activity is going to happen. And there sure has been a lot of activity. We're straight on to the transfer screen when you come back in right now. Nobody else going out as it currently stands. But since you were last with us, Adam Payne has rejoined us from Port Vale on a season's loan, costing us nothing. So he will be with us throughout. Currently injured. He's got 12 days and 5 weeks. He's going to be out. But we have brought him back in for backup on the defensive left side after really trialling a lot of players and so on and so forth, not really finding anybody of any great ilk. And as Adam had been with us last season, we decided that we would bring him in again. Vinny Steels was on trial with us. Absolutely appeared to be fantastic. He's currently playing for, or his parent club is Mansfield, but we have managed to bring him in on a season loan again for nothing. He is quite happy to play midfield right, but also attacking midfielder right. And reasons behind that is that we may switch to a slightly different formation this season. Let's quickly flick into that, and I will show you. So might be some spoilers on here for the other transfers, but we're thinking that possibly we may play, especially against some of the bigger teams in the National League, may play this formation with a 3 attacking midfielders, and in effect making it a 4-2-3-1 with a lone striker up front. But this will be our mainstay of tactic formation, is our hard fast 4-1-3-2 with the inverted wing backs and the defensive wingers, who both of which we can push forward to wingers if we wish to do so, and also in the central midfield. Right, let's go back to the transfers then and have a look at the other. There was a couple of spoilers there. So as I say, Vinny Steels can play on that right side, both midfield and attacking midfield. Tyler Morton, he is well, as you can see, he can play in various positions. Again, he can play on this right side. I'm looking to play him here. He can always drop down into defensive midfield, though he's not fantastic, but he can do if we need to. But his main position here in central midfield, and then push forward as an attacking midfielder. He's most at home though on the right hand side, so between him and Steele on that right side, that's where they will be. And at a very hard push, he can also play as an attacker, so he's very versatile. Quite an excellent signing, £200 a week for 2 years, and he's just 18 years of age, so a lot of potential there. In fact, let's just pop back in and look at these coach reports. So he's currently a 3-star behind Vinny Steele's, but he has the potential ability to be a 4-star, and I think in the information it did actually say, here we go, potential to be a League 2 right midfielder in the future. So looks very promising. Dean Piddington, he's come in. He's come in on a free. He's on £180 a week again for 2 seasons, playing really up that central part of midfield. His favourite position is as a central midfielder, but can he also play as a defensive midfielder and an attacking midfielder if required to do so. Coaching wise, he's about the 4th best in central midfield as it currently stands, 3rd best as an attacking midfielder, and 5th best as defensive midfielder. But I think really what we're looking for at the price that he's come in for, he has a lot of versatility there and potential to be National League central midfielder. So if we do move through to League 2, he may no longer be in the pecking order. We'll see. We might try and then move him on. He has actually got a little bit of value, and if he can play well this season, might increase that value. Toby Kenyon, he is a 19-year-old, again coming on a freebie, £120 a week, only for 1 season as it currently stands. Again in this midfield, really filling this midfield at the moment. Can play quite well in defensive midfield as a ball-winning midfielder, but his preferred position is a central midfielder. Currently he sits 3rd as the central midfielder and 3rd as the defensive midfielder. 2-star current ability, and I think that's a 4-star potential ability, possibly. And finally, for the moment, Mason Goodridge, and you won't be disappointed to know that he is a central midfielder. Again, we seem to be filling this up. £120 a week for 2 years. He can play in central midfield. He can also play as a defensive midfielder, ball-winning midfielder in that defensive position. He is currently the best in the central midfield position and the best as a defensive midfielder, so he's rocking in those positions. Currently a 3-star current ability, 3.5, 4-star potential ability, and he also has a potential to be a League 2 defensive midfielder in the future. Might be sooner than he thinks. Still a bit of work to do. There's still some positions that we want to fill. As you can see, we've got some loanees in. This is the current state of play. So having a quick look where we're at. So Charman, Danaher, Andrews up front are our mainstay of strikers, and they're going to be the ones that will be working, and there's obviously a number of other players that can play in that position as well. McGladdery is the only left-sided winger that we've got, midfield player that we've got at the moment on our books. We are looking at Peter Bassi. He is on trial with us at the moment, as you can see, not for very long, but we'll be figuring him out a little bit. He can play anywhere on this left side, so he can play as a wing back left, midfield left, which is his natural position, and also as an attacking midfield on the left. Coach report wise, he would be the best obviously on that position, best as the, in fact he would be best in all those positions, so he is a possibility. We've tried to bring back Ben Jackson, but they won't release him on a loan this season for some reason or other, so we are looking for a left-sided midfielder. And then in the central midfield, we have plenty of choices there at the moment. Morton and Marriott showing up on here, which makes me wonder. There's about 11 in that central midfield, and only Ian Marriott as a defensive midfielder, which is a bit of a worry. The other one we've been looking at is Charlie Wellens. He is 18-year-old. He's only here for another day, so we'll see what happens with him before the next episode. But he can play as a striker, an attacking midfielder, or in midfield central role, which we're absolutely awash with people. So it may be that he doesn't come in on that basis. As you'll say, Vinny Steels is top of the pile there, and then Tyler Morton. And we're also looking at this 28-year-old who is on trial with us. His preferred position is really on the attacking midfield on the left, but he can actually play left side of midfield and also the right side of midfield as well. Looks like he might be okay for a couple of seasons. Coach report says ability to dribble makes him a difficult opponent to come up against. He's a leading player for most National League North and South sides. So I wouldn't be, if I did bring him in, I wouldn't be looking to do much more than a season. And then as it's set out, we got Mapufu, Gordon, Sorinola, Matty Jacob, who's coming back from injury. He's on his way back. Will be shortly on that left side, so we should be okay. And then we've got Egan Riley, who can play across all of the defence, but mainly in the right hand side. And then, as you can see, the only other player we're looking at the moment is Olanganju, and he is on trial with us for a little bit longer. A good central defender, good tackling, good marking, and heading. His natural fitness is 20, so he would do well in that defensive position. And then we got Slicker, Gray, McCulloch, and Allen in goal. So that's how we are looking at the moment. Anything else to report on this side? I don't think so. No. So that's where we are at the moment. Let's just quickly bob back to the club vision. This is where our current state of play. And yep, I think void relegation, first round of the FA Cup, 5th round of the Builder Base Trophy. We've expanded the stadium and completed it, and yeah, that's pretty much where we are for the moment. So that will take us through to our next episode, which will be the first 2 games of the season. So I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all future episodes. New episodes are currently released on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 4:15. Follow me on Twitter for all the updates on this channel and more. And thanks for watching, and see you at the next episode.